So we're gonna go check on the horses. You'll see they're out there just standing in the snow eating their hay. Get some water for the chickens. Supposed to get like 8 to 10 inches of snow today.
He's a snow cone.
And there's Gus standing out there just all covered in snow.
He doesn't mind.
What's interesting is we could probably give them a bale of hay each in their stalls, and they'd prefer to go out and stand in the snow.
So one thing about horses is they will get a lot of snow on them, and that's actually a really good sign, because if they have snow all over them, that means that their coat is protecting them well and they're not losing a lot of body heat. So you'll notice that Gus is very covered in snow, but that's actually a really good thing, because that means he's retaining enough warmth and he's not cold.
Alright, so we're going to get some chicken food and some water, and we'll go out and check on the chickens here in a little bit and give you kind of a rundown of how the coop's working now that we've closed it in. Alright, we're going to take the chicken food out to the chickens and come back and get them some water. So let's go out and feed the chickens. They'll appreciate this. And one thing you can do is you can feed them in different spots in the run, and that will help them, you know, stir up the ground too. I think they're hungry. And we have this heated waterer here that it's kind of a pain to fill. I haven't come up with the best solution yet. You have to tip it upside down, take a plug out of it. Anybody that has chickens and has looked for anything for them this summer knows that there's been a shortage of feeders and waterers and different things. So we got to keep our eyes open for a little better setup. But we'll go ahead and go get them some water. We got probably, I'm going to say about 6 inches of snow so far. It's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's supposed to snow until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So we'll have some plowing videos coming up this afternoon for sure. And one thing I would probably do different on this coop in the future, and I may even do it next summer, is I would probably lift the door up another 2x6. As you can see here with the snow and everything, it doesn't take long before the door is dragging in the snow. And, so we'll collect our eggs while we're here so they don't freeze and break. Move the hay around a little bit. So we're going to go finish up chores, and then we'll come back and so we'll do an overview of the chicken coop here too. I'll tell you our thoughts now that we've had it for almost a year, and we've had the stuff on through a couple snowstorms, you know, and she's had some questions about smell and how it works inside. So we'll be back in a minute when we get ready to do that. We're just going to take care of the horses, finish up the watering, and hold on one second, we'll be right back.
So as you can see, we're having a snow day here on the homestead. We thought today would be a good day to revisit the chicken coop and show you how our modifications for winter with the side paneling are working, and give you a little talk about keeping the smell down in your chicken coop. We had a question about that on our previous video, so we wanted to address a few of the things that we've done that make this coop less smelly than a traditional coop might be, or things you can do to mitigate to keep your chickens from smelling. So come on inside the coop and we'll talk about that a little bit more. So as you can see, the new walls are doing an excellent job of keeping at least the majority of the snow out. There's a little bit along this side where we didn't do the paneling as high, but we do really like how much ventilation it offers the chickens to have no paneling here. So we think this is an acceptable amount of snow to have come into the run. So this is working great for us. I don't think we'll make any modifications, at least this winter, to the siding on the coop. One of the things you'll notice is the ground cover in the coop. And we've done a video where we add more of this wood chip. But what this wood chip does is it adds a really coarse aerated layer. So when the chickens poop on that and then they continue to stir it, it can all break down. And it's like a compost pile. What you don't want to create is what they call an anaerobic environment. And that's an environment where the air can't get in around the composting matter. That creates a really stinky, smelly, slimy mess. So with what we have here, it's bulky enough that it doesn't pack down. And when we feed the chickens stuff out in the run like this, that allows them to scratch and peck and move that compost around. And that helps also prevent the anaerobic environment and keep the good composting process, allowing everything to break down properly. This will turn everything underneath the compost into a nice layer of soil that is usable in the garden. And it also keeps our chickens from having almost any smell at all. You can also see that it keeps them very happy. They love pecking around and scratching. And one of the other things that we do have is a pretty good amount of room in this coop per chicken. I'm not sure what the square footage per chicken on this is, but they have plenty of room to wander and do whatever they want. They're not packed in here. And so giving them that sufficient amount of room allows their poop to be spread out over a greater area, and that also helps keep them from having a smell. So we hope that this has given you a few ideas and helped answer some questions on mitigating chicken coop smell, and hopefully some ideas on covering your run if you live in a snowy area like this. So another thing that's really nice about the chicken coop flooring that we have in here is the composting process actually causes a fair amount of heat. And it won't feel probably warm to the touch, although like the horse manure pile would. It does keep the run base from freezing. So the ground outside is quite frozen. But if you come into the chicken coop, you can actually dig in here and it's not frozen in here. And that's because of the composting process. And you can see that compost is really starting, and all these wood chips are starting to break down. That's going to make this into some really great soil. But it also helps to keep the chickens' feet warm and helps to keep them from having any problems from the cold. As you can tell, our chickens are pretty happy and they really enjoy their run. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.